Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute blueprint for bulletproofing your body against aging. Because let's be real, the ultimate goal here is preserving our physical independence as the decades roll by, right? We want to avoid becoming, well, prisoners in our own bodies.
Listen to this. There's no pill that helps you get off the floor. But there is a type of training that does. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. Getting off the floor safely, that is a massive, critical marker of human longevity. And preserving that independence isn't sitting in a prescription bottle or some supplement aisle. It's completely in your hands. And today, we're going to learn exactly how to train for it.
To get there, we're going to use what we call the 5-move checklist. You can think of this as your ultimate diagnostic tool to see exactly how well your body functions right now, today. This isn't about how much you can bench press, not at all. It's a true test of your body's real-life readiness. But actually, before we dive into the moves themselves, we really need to clear up a massive misconception about aging.
So let me ask you, when do you think your physical decline actually kicks off? Like, when does that physical friction really start? If you're like most of us, you probably picture decline as something way, way down the road. We usually associate mobility loss, frailty, joint pain, with our late 60s or 70s. We kind of write it off as a senior citizen problem. But that assumption is completely wrong. And honestly, holding on to that belief is exactly what sets so many people up for physical failure later in life.
The actual timeline of decline is a bit of a harsh reality check. The silent loss of your strength, your explosive power, your balance, it actually starts decades earlier than you'd think. We hit our physical peak in our 30s, but then, right in our 40s, this quiet loss begins. We're talking about losing up to 5% of our muscle mass per decade. You might not even notice it at first. Maybe you just feel a little stiffer when you wake up. But by the time we hit our 50s, that quiet loss accelerates into a steep drop. If you aren't actively fighting this decline right now, you're already falling behind.
Now, I can hear some of you saying, but wait, I run 3 miles a day. I'm totally fine. Well, let's dismantle that myth right now. Don't get me wrong, cardio is absolutely fantastic for heart health and endurance. But just logging miles on a treadmill, it's not going to protect you from this specific physical decline. Cardio doesn't preserve your explosive power, your heavy lifting strength, or that complex balance you need to prevent a catastrophic fall. For that, you need functional fitness.
Which brings us to the big question. What actually is functional training? Essentially, it's focused on whole-body, multi-plane movements, because real life doesn't happen while you're sitting perfectly still on a padded gym bench. Real life asks you to squat down to play with your dog, reach way up into a high cabinet, twist around to grab a seatbelt, or pick up a dropped remote without letting out a loud groan. Functional training mirrors those exact daily tasks. Training in multiple planes of motion, up and down, side to side, and rotational, that is the true, scientifically backed antidote to aging.
Think about your standard isolated gym moves for a second. Sitting, strapped into a leg extension machine, or, doing seated bicep curls. These are single muscle machines that lock you into a super rigid path. Now compare that to actual real life. You are literally never going to be asked to sit perfectly strapped into a chair to lift a padded bar with your shins. But you absolutely will be asked to carry heavy groceries up a flight of stairs or haul yourself up from a deep, soft sofa. We have to train for real life. All right, now that we've got the why down, let's shift gears and get into the how. Welcome to the Do It With Me demo. I want to take a really direct coaching approach with you right now. If you're watching this explainer, I strongly encourage you to literally stand up. Seriously, grab a sturdy chair and use just your body weight to try these beginner-friendly moves along with me. Let's walk through the fundamentals of functional movement right here, right now. Okay, let's start with move 1, the sit to stand. This is your foundation. Step 1, sit right on the edge of your chair. Step 2, plant your feet flat on the ground, about shoulder width apart. Step 3, push through your heels and stand up tall. But wait, here's the trick. Do it without using your hands. No pushing off your knees, no pushing off the armrests. This specific movement mimics literally the most essential life skill, getting out of a chair, out of a car, or off the toilet independently. If you can't do this easily, this is exactly where your training begins.
Awesome job. Let's move right into move 2, step-ups. Find that sturdy chair, or even better, just the bottom step of a staircase. Step 1, face the step. Step 2, plant one foot entirely and firmly on the surface. Step 3, drive your whole body weight up through that elevated heel until you're standing tall, and then carefully control your descent back down. This move is incredible because it builds unilateral power, that's single leg strength. It's the exact strength you need to climb stairs safely or to catch yourself if you ever trip and start to fall. Next up, move 3, the rotation reach. Remember how we said earlier that real life happens in 3D?
Well, step 1, stand tall, feet comfortably apart. Step 2, pivot smoothly on one foot, really letting your hips turn. Step 3, reach aggressively across your body at shoulder height. Imagine you're grabbing a really heavy jar off a shelf and twisting to hand it to someone behind you, or turning to put away groceries. This rotation opens up the spine and trains your core to be powerful in twisting motions, which, by the way, is exactly where most people end up getting injured.
And finally, we arrive at move 4, the hip hinge. Guys, I cannot overstate this. This is the absolute most critical movement to master. Step 1, stand with soft, slightly bent knees. Step 2, push your hips straight back. Imagine your hands are totally full of groceries and you're trying to close a car door with your glutes. Step 3, keep your back perfectly straight. You should feel a really nice stretch right in the back of your legs. Remember, this is not a squat, it's a hinge. Mastering this is exactly how you pick heavy things off the floor without throwing out your lower back.
So, having looked at the real science of physical decline and having physically felt the mechanics of these foundational movements, I have a pretty provocative question for you. Will your body be ready for the next decade? Not just next year, but a full 10 years from now? If that quiet loss of strength is happening right this second, are you doing the multi-plane functional work required to guarantee your physical independence? Because ultimately, that is entirely up to you. So let's take some action today. Go into the description below this explainer, try the full 5-move check, and comment your score down below. We really want to build a community of people taking their longevity seriously here. And make sure to click the follow-up playlist to keep this learning journey going. Remember, there is absolutely no magic pill for independence. So, what are you going to do today to guarantee your strength tomorrow? Thanks so much for exploring this with me.